Hello, second grade Smarties, and welcome to Unit 3, Week 1, Lesson 1 of Fundations. So we are going to be talking about some new glued sounds this week, and they are right here. They're going to be like our other glued sounds when we see them, and they're going to be on green tiles. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to do some drill sounds first, and then we're going to do our glued sounds that we know and our R control vowels. So let's get started. I'm going to say it, and then you repeat it after me. Here we go. A, apple, a. E, ed, e. I, itch, I. O, octopus, ah. U, up, Now some consonants. F, fun, f. G, game, g. Q, u, queen, qu. T, top, t. Y, yellow, y. All right, on to those glued sounds. Here we go. A, L, L, ball, all. A, M, ham, am. A, N, fan, an. A-N-G, fang, ang. I-N-G, ring, ing. O-N-G, song, ong. U-N-G, lung, ung. A-N-K, bank, ank. I-N-K, pink, ink. O-N-K, honk, onk. U-N-K, junk, unk. Now on to our R controlled vowels. A-R, car, R. O-R, horn, or. E-R, her, I-R, bird, U-R, burn, All right, guys, we are going to hop right along. I am going to build a word on my letterboard. And I want you to think, is this a closed syllable word or not? This is the word cob. Let's tap it. K-a-b. Cob. Let's check these syllables. Cob. So it's one syllable, and is it closed or not? It's closed, right? Because it has one vowel, and it's a short vowel sound. This is the word cob. Now, sometimes there are words that are going to make an exception, and we're going to move on to our next page. So cob is a closed syllable word because it has one vowel sound and it makes the ah sound. That's a short O sound. Now I'm going to make a new word. This is the word cold, and we would tap it like this. K, old, cold. This is a glued sound with 3 letters, so we would tap 3 fingers to remember that it's a glued sound. K, old, cold. Now that O, there's only one O, so there's only one vowel, but that O says the long O sound. It doesn't say ah. We don't say this as called. That sounds silly, doesn't it? It's cold. We hear that long O sound. Old, cold. So we would call this word a closed exception. An exception is something that doesn't follow the rules, just like our trick words. So we have some glued sounds that don't follow the rules, and we have 5 glued sounds like that. So I'm going to put my board down for just a second. So we would call these closed exceptions and we sound them out like the rest of our glued sounds. So for this first one, we would say ild, wild, ILD, wild, ild. What does the I say in this glued sound? It says I, right? A long vowel sound is when the vowel says its name. So this is the letter I. So the long vowel sound is the name of that letter. So ILD, wild, ild. Let's go to the next one. IND, find, ind. OLT, colt, olt. OLD, cold, old. OST, post, oast. Okay, so when we see a word that has these glued sounds, the I and the O's are going to say their names. They have those long vowel sounds. So it's a closed syllable exception. Okay, because remember, closed syllables are words that have one vowel. These do have one vowel, but closed syllables have a short vowel sound. So there are also exceptions when we see words that have those glued sounds. So for example, I'm going to build a word that has OST in it, but it's not going to say oast. Let's tap this word out. Ready? Oh, here we go. Lost. Now it has that OST, and normally if we see OST, it would say oast. But would I say that my cat is lost? No, I would say that it is lost. So it's still a closed syllable because it has that short ah sound and not the o. So we wouldn't tap it oast. It's lost. Okay, so when we mark up words with these closed syllable exceptions, we need to put, and hold on just a second. All right, when we mark these words up, if we scoop them, so for cold, and I'm gonna put, oh, that's not where that goes. So for cold, it would be old, cold. Now, when we scoop it and put the syllable, we would put an X through that closed syllable because even though it does have that one vowel, it breaks the rules. It is an exception and it would get a long vowel mark on top. All right, guys, so here's what we are going to do. I want you to go ahead and get your tile board out, and we are going to build some words with these new glued sounds. So you should have 5 glued sounds: old, olt, oast, ild, and ind. And we are going to build some words that have those glued sounds. So here's the first word that I need you to build. Here we go. Mold. Let's tap mold. Old, mold, mold. Old, mold. Show me your board in 3, 2, 1. Good job. We have that OLD, cold, old. Old, mold. Great job. Let's build the word most. Oast, most. Oast, most. Show me in 3, 2, 1. Great job. Oast, most. The next word we are going to build is mild. Mild. Ild, mild. Ild, mild. Show me in 3, 2, 1. Mild. It has a ILD, Wild, isled. Great job. Now change mild to mind. Eind, mind. Eind, mind. Great job. I have M and then the glued sound IND. And remember, it's a closed syllable exception. It breaks the rules because that I says its name for that long vowel sound. All right, let's test your knowledge from the glued sounds we learned last week. Build the word song. Song. Ong, song. Ong, song. S-O-N-G, like O-N-G, song, ong. Great job. Now build the word, whoops, I put that in the wrong place. Now build the word sold. Old, sold. Old, sold. Show me in 3, 2, 1. Great job, second grade Smarties. Remember, it has that O-L-D, like cold. And would this be a closed syllable? No, because that O says its name. All right, second grade Smarties, the last thing you're going to do, because we want to build our knowledge and we want to keep that knowledge in our minds, in your student notebook, Miss Mason's getting tongue-tied. In your student notebook, there's a page that you can use to help you remember your glued sounds, your closed syllable exceptions. So if you go to page 8, you can practice your closed syllable exceptions, these glued sounds, and color those pictures in and practice them at home. So that was on page 8. And second grade Smarties, you'll be sending me a picture of this on Seesaw. All right, second grade Smarties. So today we talked about some glued sounds that make closed syllable exceptions. They are rule breakers. There's so many rule breakers. All right, second grade Smarties, keep that growth mindset. Good learners do hard things, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.